Seriously guys, who doesn't like a creative ad? Creativity has been always associated with advertising and creative campaigns. So when you think about it, there are two major categories for ads or advertisements that you see. The first category will be a straightforward ad, which will be showing the product's image or service. And if you ask me, there is nothing wrong with that direction. Actually, in most of the cases, that's easier for the designer. So he'll be using the product's image in that case, maybe with some photo retouching using Photoshop, and adding some nice and catchy message in there. And the other category of advertising is what we call creative ads or creative advertising. And of course, there are other categories of advertising as well, like using influencers or before and after using a product, for example. However, I really consider these as a straightforward advertising as well. There is nothing special about them. And to be honest with you guys, this video is all about creativity, so we're talking about metaphors as well. And don't worry guys, creating such creative ads doesn't have to be a special gift or something like that, as by the end of this video I'm gonna be telling you specific steps to follow, which will be helping you a lot to create some creative ads. And in most of the cases, using metaphors is what makes creative ads. And you might be wondering, what is metaphor? When it comes to language, it's a figure of speech that represents a thing or person with something symbolic, while on the other hand, in graphic design or advertising, a visual metaphor pertains to graphics that associate a thing or person via similar characteristics. However, due to its similarity with the thing, product or person, the viewers or the audience in that case will relate to your image and understand what you mean by that metaphor. Even in some cases, they'll get that moment of wow, or oh, I get it, or something like that, or wow, look at that creative ad. And that's what we're trying to achieve using metaphors. In advertising, visual metaphors are an excellent way to create visual interest, which will get your audience to engage with your message. Now let's take a look at some of the most inspiring creative ads that are based on visual metaphors techniques. So here, for example, we have that creative ad by McDonald's. And by the way, they do have so many creative ads. They are heavily relying on metaphors and minimal designs as well. And even that technique in here is called visual minimalism. So here, for example, as you can see guys, we do have a very simple and abstract lines. And even design elements, we do have a solid background and just yellow lines and even symbol type in here. And that ad in here was part of a huge advertising campaign in McDonald's France. And they used their iconic French fries to show directions to the nearest store. Very creative and simple, as you can see. And in that case, these simple lines are resembling street lines, and the whole ad is working as well as a street sign. Another great ad in here by McDonald's as well, and this technique will be called visual fusion. And since McDonald's logo is very well known, so here, for example, they are replacing the eyes of nocturnal animals, like maybe a wolf or owl, with their logo to show that they are open 24/7, which is really creative, as you can see. And another great example for the same technique will be that ad in here for COVID-19, keep your distance. And there is no need to talk about that one. They are trying to implement the rule of keeping a distance, using a strong image like these spikes will be destroying that balloon. So people will be keeping a distance to save their lives or to stay safe if they can. That was part of a campaign by the United Nations. Another great example for the same technique will be that Nivea ad in here. It's a straightforward graphic that has the moon shape as well. And you can easily achieve a similar visual by taking a photo of that product. Even using your phone to create such an ad will be a great one, because it's all about the idea in here, as they are in that ad promoting their night cream. And I do really like how simple and strong that ad. And here's also another great ad by Braun, and you can easily achieve a similar design having a product and align that one with noodles and straight pasta in there, and you're good to go. It's all about straightening these noodles in there, and that's what the product is all about. However, it's really nice how they are presenting that idea. And also another great technique to create a creative ad or a visual metaphor will be using similar visual elements. So for example, a walnut will be looking like a brain, or even that nice Burger King ad in here. So that was an ad during Easter time, and if there is an icon for Easter time, that will be eggs. So here we have that sandwich mimicking an egg, and you can easily achieve a similar design by having the product's image, which is that hamburger in that case, and you will rotate that 190 degrees. Then you're gonna place or type your message, which is going to clarify your idea or metaphor. And as you can see, we do have open over Easter. Very nice ad, doesn't take much to create a similar one. It's all about the idea in here. Another great technique in there will be using double meanings, which you can see in these ads. Those are summer eyewear pieces. So they are using tropical fruits and shaped them into sunglasses. And the shadows are looking like sunglasses as well. Another great technique will be using visual typography to create nice metaphor ads. So in that case, letters can complete the image of an object, or even in some cases, type or letters can be resembling the shape of an object or so, which is something I really enjoy playing with letters, as each and every letter can resemble a shape or a figure. So here, for example, these letters are forming a waveform in a print ad for Kent FM. Another great technique for creating a metaphor is by showing consequences, maybe a specific action or maybe a product or service as well. So as you can see guys, there are so many techniques in there to create a metaphor, and let me even give you some steps to think of when you're trying to come up with a metaphor or a creative ad. So you can start by thinking about the main message that you want to deliver to your audience. So always start by the message and maybe write down the most important words. So for example, that Nivea cream, you're gonna be typing night, and maybe you're gonna be thinking about moon, maybe stars, dark blue, and something like that. So you have some words in there. So basically you need to have some keywords in there. Then you can start brainstorm potential familiar elements that you can use to illustrate the message. So for example, we do have some words in there like moon, stars, dark blue. You're gonna be selecting one of these elements. In that case, maybe it's gonna be the moon. Make sure to be careful when you're selecting your elements, not to leave your audience completely puzzled, so they can get the message eventually. This is really important. Then you can start by drawing some sketches. If you like to sketch, that's not a mandatory thing. You can start right away in Photoshop or Illustrator, or even you can start by searching some design elements, maybe some moon images, or even the product's photo shoot. So if you have that Nivea cream, you're gonna be taking a nice photo for that one from different angles, trying to showcase a moon or a half moon in that case. Then once you're done with your image, you're gonna be clearing that one with a nice message in there, typing your message, which could be in that example a new night cream or something like that. And finally, once you're done with your design, it's really important to show that one to others, maybe your team, your friends, or some family members or so, to make sure that people can understand what you're trying to say in there, just to make sure that you are in safe direction. So hope you already enjoyed that dose of creativity, and as always guys, stay creative.